Okay, we live in a world that is just overflowing with data. But how do you actually find that one signal, that one insight that could totally change your business? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down that exact journey, from just raw information to a real decisive action. Let's dive in.
Seriously, think about it. We are just swimming in data. Every click, every sale, every single interaction, it all generates more and more of it. But all this information is really just noise if you don't have a clear signal. So the real challenge for any of us is this. How do you take all that noise and turn it into a confident, data-backed decision?
And that right there is our central theme, finding clarity inside all that complexity. This isn't about memorizing a bunch of complicated formulas. It's really about developing a structured way of thinking, a method to simplify the world around you so you can actually act with confidence.
The main tool we use for this is something called modeling. And at its core, modeling is just a disciplined way of simplifying reality. It's kind of like an art form, really, the art of stripping away all the irrelevant details so you can focus only on the factors that truly drive the outcomes you care about. And that, of course, leads to better, smarter decisions.
So how do we build a model we can actually trust? Well, it's not magic, it's a craft. And just like any craft, it requires the right set of tools, a set of foundational principles that make sure our models aren't just technically correct, but are actually truly reliable.
All right, the most crucial first step is this. You have to match your question to the right kind of analysis. Think about it. Are you trying to predict what's going to happen next? Or are you trying to explain why something already happened? Maybe you're comparing two different choices, or just looking for an association between a couple of things. Each one of those questions needs a totally different kind of model. If you get this part wrong, you're basically solving the wrong problem right from the get-go.
Next up is this idea of validity, and let me tell you, this is absolutely non-negotiable. A model is completely useless if it's disconnected from the real world. Validity is what makes sure that the things you're measuring, what we call constructs, truly represent the real-world ideas you actually care about. Like, are those survey questions really measuring long-term customer loyalty, or are they just measuring how happy someone is in this exact moment? That's the kind of question validity helps you answer.
And this brings up a really important distinction. You see, a model can have a perfect statistical fit with your data, but be completely useless for making a real-world decision. The ultimate test isn't about technical perfection, it's about managerial usefulness. You always have to ask yourself, does this model actually help me decide what to do next?
Okay, so we've got the tools. Now let's take a look at the workflow. And the good news is, this isn't some chaotic, messy process. It's a clear, repeatable path that can methodically take you from a kind of vague business question to a really sharp, actionable insight.
This workflow is basically your roadmap. You start by framing the question really well. Then you select your model and you estimate it. But look at step 4, run diagnostics. This is the crucial quality check that honestly gets skipped all the time. It's where you make sure your assumptions are solid before you get to that final and most important step, interpreting the results and turning them into real-world insight.
Which brings us to the final act. You've done the math, you've got the output, so now what? This is the moment where analysis becomes leadership. It's all about translating those complex results into a clear story that actually drives a decision.
I absolutely love this quote because it just gets right to the heart of it. Your spreadsheets, your charts, your p-values, those aren't the final product. The real final product is a compelling story, a narrative that explains what the heck the data means and what the business should do about it next. This slide here shows that translation in action perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the technical stuff. A term like beta of 0.45 just tells us how strong a relationship is. P less than 0.01 tells us the result is statistically significant. But that's just jargon, right? The strategic insight on the right, that's what matters. For every dollar we spend, we get 45 cents back. This campaign is profitable. Increase the budget. See that? That is the leap from raw stats to a clear business strategy.
So, where do we go from here? What's the path forward? Well, mastering this craft isn't about taking a single course or reading one book. It's really a continuous journey of building your skills and deepening your analytical intuition over time. And it's a journey you can take step by step. You start with the foundational models just to get comfortable. From there, you can move on to more intermediate techniques. And over time, you can even start tackling advanced topics like comparing different models to find the absolute best approach. It's a skill set that you can build and scale throughout your entire career.
So let's end with this one thought. Every single data set in your organization right now is telling a story. It's a story about your customers, your operations, your market. The only question left is, are you equipped to listen?